is somehow sad and at the same time disturbing to realize that the African Americans Ghana and other African countries received in 2019 and beyond 2019, most of them are leaving the continent. Some of them have left, others are leaving, and I believe that others are also prepared to leave. But I know a few of them will stay. The golden question is, why are they leaving? Let us find out. Welcome back to the YouTube channel. My name is Ambassador Vix, and I am back with another awesome video. On this channel, we talk about the positivity about Africa, helping to changing the negative narrative that the pessimists hold against Africa's image. As a reminder, the 2019 year of return, and after that, beyond the return was an initiative between the Ghana government and also the Adinkra Group in the US to commemorate the 400th anniversary of the first recorded enslaved Africans in Jamestown, Virginia, USA. Basically, to provide the grant for our African Americans in the US to come back into the continent and invest. And trust me, Ghana recorded tourism revenue of about $3.12 billion. And this was stated by the former Tourism, Arts and Culture Minister, Madam Barbara Otinjesi. This is a publication made by Ghana Web in May 2020. This takes us back to our golden question again. Why are they leaving? According to my research and also conversations that I've had with a few of them, there are 4 factors contributing or sucking our African Americans away from the continent. Be sure to stay tuned because the number 4 of the factors will surprise you. First of all, no job. You see, most of the African Americans held the misconceptions that they will easily find a job when they come back to Africa. But most of them, this appeared to them as a mirage. Unlike the US, jobs in Africa, especially in Ghana, are scarce with unemployment rate soaring as high as 50%, which makes it even difficult for the citizens to find a job rather than someone who is coming back to the continent to find a job. I'll be honest to say that some of them were able to find a job or establish something for themselves, but most of them couldn't get that opportunity to do so. This is a video of Zifa on the Ahaspra network sharing how she was able to establish herself when she came back to Ghana in 2014. Take a look.
I came back to Ghana in 2014 because the US at that time, as it is now, was very divided. The Trayvon Martin case had just happened. A lot of people were waking up to the reality of Black men being killed just for the color of their skin. And I had not been back since I left when I was 11 years old. Of course, I had a romantic idea of what Ghana was gonna be. You know, I read a lot of books by Kwame Nkrumah. The whole Africa Rising thing was happening. So I really thought that I was gonna come to Ghana and everything will happen just like this. And that wasn't the reality. For me, my biggest challenge since being back has honestly been seeing young people like myself who are smarter than me, more gifted than me, more experienced than me, not have access to opportunities to really thrive. And that's why I feel like a community like Ahaspra comes in, because most of us are coming from a place where we have a little bit of disposable income. We are not necessarily responsible for anybody else but ourselves. So we can now partner with these gifted people, start businesses, start nonprofits, and really bring about the solutions that we wish our parents had brought so that they wouldn't have left this country. And this is home. And I think for me, the community that I have here, my first job, I heard about it on Ahaspra because Emily is on Ahaspra. She was a Commerce Fellow at MEST. So when she was leaving MEST, she just posted on Ahaspra, I'm leaving MEST. Is anyone interested in this position? Because I'm part of that community, I was able to reach out to her, and the process of getting that job was so easy. As a returnee, you don't have to worry about bread and butter issues the way that other people your age here have to worry about. So you are the one that has to create that opportunity. And there's nothing wrong with admitting that the people here you come to meet are smarter than you, and they are more experienced than you, and they know the terrain better than you. So don't come here just because you have a little bit of money thinking that you can lord over them. come with a perspective of how do we collaborate. So what I did, like a whole year, I followed people around, like guys like Yao Jenfi, he was starting Penny. I followed so many people, like I'm blanking at Akushi, Joshua with his coconut business, Mirabelle with Tama, like just studying these entrepreneurs because I was fascinated.
The second reason is love for Western world convenience. You see, a lot of African Americans fail to realize how easily their lifestyles were in the US, only to coming back to Africa to realize what they've taken for granted.
Simple examples include basic road infrastructure with sidewalks. A lot of African countries may have tarred roads, but often don't have sidewalks. This means that walking from A to B often isn't an option. So you find yourself driving or taking taxis everywhere.
Another reason is hassles in shopping back in Ghana. Based on my engagement with a few people who were back at home, according to them, there are hassles in shopping in Ghana. Unlike in the US where you just swipe a card, click a button or press send and you are sure to receive your item in the same day, it takes you a week or 2 weeks to receive the same item that you order from outside. And in as much as e-commerce exists in Ghana, finding the right details for you to order your items is also another bit of a hassle.
I wanted to make one point also. It's like, and that's getting back to food or things you purchase. I'm noticing this is what I did in the States. When I got, like, we drink almond milk or certain dairy products or certain things, I was used to them lasting, once I opened them, like 9 days. Well, it's different here with the product we got. It lasts maybe 5. It says it on the carton just like it does in the States. But those are the things you have to look into, because when I first got here and I got the almond milk, I didn't think about it. I just started keeping it for the amount of days I was used to. And I said, oh, I need to read this and see what it says. And I'm realizing it's the less amount of days. And so those are the things you have to look at too. Things that maybe you were used to getting of certain products that maybe had an expiration date different. In the States, it may be different here.
To them, this makes them miss the US and they run back to the US. The third reason is culture misfits. Most African Americans had the belief that they'll be able to fit into the African culture like the hand in the gloves. This is like putting a square peg in a round hole. I'm not saying that this is impossible, but this is rare. You see, I understand and personally I know that my ancestors together with their ancestors hail from Africa, but there has been generations upon generations upon generations, which means that the African Americans have very little in connection with those that we are already in Africa. So you shouldn't, expect something like Halloween. You shouldn't expect all of the people in Africa to know Steve Harvey. In as much as some people know him, they do not care. All right. So those who try to adapt to the culture make it work, because culture is a complex thing and culture is very difficult to articulate into words. All right. And it is also a feeling, and sometimes the feeling of Africans and African Americans are apart, which makes them not being able to fit into the culture of Africans. All right.
Here in America, you have selected different types of foods. If you want Mexican, if you want Italian, if you want Jamaican, if you want all of these different types of foods, when you get to Africa, those areas who have that, if they have that, are going to be tremendously high to eat at.
The last but not the least reason as to why our African Americans are moving out of the continent is that there's lack of choice in Africa. You see, there are plenty of choices for you to make in America because there are a variety of services, goods, and all that for you to choose from. Unlike in Africa, those choices are limited. For example, should you book a flight from New York to Los Angeles, you're going to get as many as 5 to 6 flights for you to choose from with the quality of service. But in Africa, for you to travel domestically, you have about 3 to 4 flights for you to choose from. Is it Amtrak? Is it Passion Air? Is it Starbow? You see, so the choices in Africa are limited, and because of that, they are compelled to use or to consume those kind of products that they think are not best for them. Because of that, they are moving to enjoy those kind of lifestyle that they enjoyed in the US.
Then you want to go ahead and buy the items that you're so used to, whether it's dishwashing liquid, whether it is clothing, whether it is, whether it's cleaning items, whether it is, the food, or whether any item that's got to be imported in, it is going to be a task on your pockets.
See, the moral of this content is that all countries have their pros and cons. So African Americans wanting to move back to the continent are supposed to do their search so that they will be privy to the levels of things in Africa and the things that Africa are lacking. Because I believe that if they had done their search, they wouldn't even go back to America because they are already privy to the things that are here. Let me know about what you think about this video. Subscribe to the channel for more and share the video to your loved one. My name is Ambassador Vix. See you next time in another video.